Oya Claro Joe, who dey breathe? This not Super FM. We don't show.
It's 4 minutes past 9 o'clock, and Super 93.3 FM Port Harcourt is where you are still tuned to. And my name is Obi Ivy. It's the Super Breakfast Show. So it's time for us now to focus on the said program, and that's the Center for Environment, Human Rights and Development. And this particular program is funded by the European Union with technical support from Agents for Citizens Transformation and the British Council. Good to have you still tuned to us. Now, joining me as usual today on the program is the coordinator, Programs Associate, Center for Environment, Human Rights and Development, and that is CERD, Barrister Obiageli Oraka Oyifoye. Good to have you on the program today.
Good to have you too, thanks.
Okay, so if you've just tuned in, if you've never been a part of this program, welcome to a program which seeks to popularize, the violence against persons, the River State Violence Against Persons Prohibition Law. And here we are going to be looking at this law in its entirety. We started off by laying a foundation to talk about what the law is. And yesterday we looked at, the specific crimes under or covered in this law. And today we're going to be going forward to look at the innovations. So yes, over to you, ma'am. First of all, good to see you today.
And good to see you too.
All right, so let's go ahead.
Thank you so much, Obi, for having me back here again today. Just a quick reminder to our audience that the program is about violence against persons prohibition law of River State, which was passed in 2020. And just to refresh our minds, that the law is a law to prohibit and to eliminate all forms of violence against persons in River State, to also bring relief and redress to victims who have suffered abuse, to also punish offenders and other related matters. So we've done justice to the introduction. We've also tried to look at the types of offenses that are covered under the law. Today we're looking at innovation. Why do we think that this law is what it is? Why do we think that this law is needed? Why do we think that this law is improving on already existent laws? Why the VAP law? Why are we going to this extent to ensure that the law is popularized for people in River State? Yeah, so yes, there were other laws that treated certain kind of offenses that are covered under VAP law. But one of the greatest innovation of the law is that it treats holistically the issues of domestic violence. You know, back in the days, it used to be family matters, especially when you go to the police station to lay a complaint against your spouse, you know, your maybe your parents, your children. And they basically treat it as a family matter, and you do not get the justice that you deserve or you seek. Especially knowing that we are living in a patriarchal society where women are, in quotes, seen to be second to men. And when that man is even exalted to the position of husband, it complicates matter the more. Religiously, traditionally, culturally, just all way around. You're supposed to be under your man, and you're supposed to take abuse because you're a woman. So gratefully, this law have come to address all those nitty-gritty issues that women face in the home, even men, even though they are in the minority. So the law deals holistically with issues of domestic violence. So that's a very big innovation. So, for example, you discover then that take the issue of a woman being forcefully ejected from her home. Yeah. So I'm not sure there's anyone who is above 20 years old in Nigeria today or in River State that would not point to one woman or the other that was forcefully ejected from home. Then it used to be leave my house, because it is perceived that the man marries you and brings you into the house. It doesn't even matter if you bought the land as a woman or you contributed in the building of the house. Little issue, you are sent packing from your home. I will send you back to your father's house. That's the usual words. I will send you back to your father's house. Thankfully, the law has come in to say you don't do that anymore. It is now an offense under VAP law to forcefully eject your spouse from home. Like I keep telling people, this forceful ejection, tenant, please, it is not for you. You know, you are under obligation to pay rent in a property where you're staying.
And you have 1 year to figure out your next rent.
Exactly. You have all the time, one whole year to it. Irresponsibility, gross irresponsibility, I think, to not be able to come up with your rent in a year. Because if you're able to eat every day, you should be able to set something aside every day to pay your rent.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so this is specifically talking about husband and wife relationship or people in civil relationship. There's this thing about presumption of marriage when people cohabit, a woman and a man cohabit, and maybe have children or not.
Yes.
So it's presumed under common law that they are married. And not to talk about when their children involved, or when the union is actually legally, bound. So that is a big innovation. Now women can heave a sigh of relief knowing that I go home and I sleep. Even when I have issues with my husband, we deal with the issues as they come. I'm no longer under psychological threat that if I say the wrong thing, if I air my opinion, I'll be thrown out of the house. No, it is not done. Peradventure, a man says, I can still do that. Thankfully, this law has brought remedy for us, which is in form of protection order. This protection order is when you approach the court let me go back to say it can be interim, and it can be subsistent. So the protection order is when you apply to the court to say, I had a home yesterday, today I do not have a home, and I want to go back to my home. So it's an order given by the court to mandate a perpetrator to discontinue from an unlawful act, such as insisting that the woman would not come back into her home.
Yeah.
So this protection order, I will have to maybe devote a time to discuss it in details. But the women out there should understand that this order is for you. It can be interim. So you can quickly go to the court and get the order to stop exactly the abuse that is happening right now. And then before all the facts of the matter is heard, and maybe a subsisting one is going to be order is going to be made, which is the real protection order itself. So that's one of it. So the other aspect also is that it dealt with sexual offenses also holistically. So it is not just now when a sexual rape or penetration occurs that we are looking at. We are looking at even when it is sexual abuse. For purposes of emphasis, I choose to define sexual abuse as sexual relations which is done in a manner that totally disgraces and humiliates a person. It does not matter if the person agreed to have sex with the abuser in the first place. Most important thing is that the abuser crossed the line. Say penetration through the sexual organs. Then all of a sudden, in the course of the sexual relationship, the man goes ahead to do some other form of penetrations that this person does not accept, or some other sexual act that is totally against this person's principle and which she originally did not agree to. So this particular law covers such. It tells you that you also committed an offense, a violation of VAP law. Even cases like sexual exploitation, yes, it might look at the surface, it might look like, okay, she agreed to do this But if you take a deeper look at it, you will discover that she was actually manipulated, to do this, because there's something at stake. Say, for example, I'm working in an office, I'm the breadwinner in my family, and my boss comes up with, if you do not sleep with me, you're going to lose your job or you won't get your promotion. Other people are doing it. Why? Even if I remove my clothes myself, I did not do that because this is what I wanted to do. I'm doing that to preserve my job. And the law has stepped up to protect women or men that find themselves under such circumstances. It's called sexual exploitation. It's not business as usual for such bosses. No justification in that. Okay, she agreed, she came to the... If she does not agree, she stands to lose stuff.
Yeah.
That's what matters. So that is also one of the innovation. Even in the case of rape too, right now, there's no alternative to punishment to rape apart from life imprisonment. I mean, this rape thing, the law understands the damage, psychological, emotional damage that this crime, the toll it takes on women and even men, because the crime of homosexuality, even though not expressly stated here, we also know that when a man is, there's a carnal knowledge of man via his, and used without his consent, in quote, that's a crime already in Nigeria, but it's still a bigger crime of rape under VAP law, because now 14 years if you do that with a consenting partner,
right.
But under VAP law, in River State, it is life imprisonment you're going down for.
Really?
Yes, whether the rape occurs against a man or the rape occurs against a woman. It's no option of fine, no lesser punishment. Lagos is setting the pace. I tell you, there are so many of them in Lagos now that are going down for this. Many people have been convicted.
Wow.
And sentenced to life imprisonment because of rape. And let me also go ahead to warn our listeners that rape is not just when you force somebody. If you have a carnal knowledge of a girl under the age of consent, which is 18 years old, if you sleep with a girl who is less than 18 years old, it's rape. You've committed the offense of rape.
Even if she was willing?
Even if she was the one that even came to your house and removed her clothes for you.
Wow.
Yes, you are under obligation not to, submit to that. And remember that ignorance of law is not an excuse. It also does not matter that, okay, I didn't know she was 14 years old. Please find out the age of any young girl that you want to have kind of relationship
Go
with.
the extra mile to know, and don't just take them for what they say.
Please go the extra mile. That's the word. Go the extra mile. Don't take them at face value. A lot of people have gone down in the countries like the United States of America because of this.
Absolutely.
Yes, because the law is fearful of the fact that if it begins to entertain excuses, even armed robbers will have justifications or excuses why they did what they did. So law chooses to put a blind face to such excuses. So, please.
Okay. If you've just joined us, let me just remind you, for those who are still tuned in, but those who have just joined us, this is an EU-funded program, and it's a program that seeks to popularize the River State Violence Against Persons Prohibition Law. Here we're looking at the aims and objectives of the law, the implementation, the authorities and those covered by the law, and everyone who stands to benefit from this law. And this is a law that was passed in River State in 2020. It's the initiative for the Center, by the Center for Environment, Human Rights and Development, CERD. And it, as I said, is funded by the European Union, through the British Council, Nigeria. And the resource person who's speaking with me today is Obiageli Oraka Oyifore, Esquire. And she's Program Associate, Center for Environment, Human Rights and Development. If you do have a question to ask, if you do have, you want to join this conversation right now and ask, clarify whatever it is, call the phone lines. The live studio numbers are 0705 079 1021 and 0811743121. We have calls already, so let's go to it. Good morning, Super FM Port Harcourt. Good morning, sir. Okay, do well to call back if you like. You can send an SMS on 09059481021. 09059481021. Please go ahead, ma'am.
Thank you very much, Obi. So, going back to the main innovation, I mean, the biggest innovation of the law that I mentioned earlier, which is that it deals holistically with issues of domestic violence.
Yes.
Okay, so we make progress from that. We go to the offense of frustrating investigation.
All right, just hold on with that thoughts. Super FM Potaka, good morning. Hello, good morning. Okay, I think the network is acting up. But again, the phone lines are 081-174-31021 and 0705-0791-021. Please go ahead.
Okay, so because this law deals with issues of domestic violence, it also is very smart enough to understand that sometimes a husband, a spouse, a parent might try to also cover up for a husband, children, wife, when those people are also participators or perpetrators of certain offenses.
Okay, we have, the call lines are blazing. So please, let's just go to them. Super FM Potaka, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Port Harcourt. My name is Ivo.
All right, go ahead.
Okay. I want to put my into the relationship that you guys are talking about.
Well, it's not a relationship, but go ahead. Let's hear your thoughts.
Okay. No, normal.
No, the line is bad, so we'll ask that you call us back. But please, let's proceed at the moment.
Okay, thank you so much. Frustrating investigation is also one of the offenses, like I mentioned yesterday, that
Yes.
the law also provided for. You discover that sometimes, say, for women who have maids in the house, who have little babies, and someone who is also helping out in the home, and then we have had several cases of the man going behind the wife and start sleeping with the child. Sometimes it is outright rape. Sometimes it's however we look at it, exploitation, abuse, etc., etc. And the woman in the house, when this issue comes to light, tries to also cover up for the spouse, especially where a child is concerned. Like I said, so long as the young girl is below 18 years old, it's rape. So the husband of the house goes ahead to be having his field day, raping this young girl. And she's too afraid to talk because she doesn't even know how the madam would react. And then madam finds out, or someone else, she confides in someone else, and madam starts shouting, oh, you want to come and ruin my marriage. And they parcel this one and they send out. Sometimes the girl goes with pregnancy. Oh, who is responsible with this pregnancy? He says that is Oga, is your husband. And she says, God forbid. And they parcel the young lady out of their house. And when the police comes to investigate, you begin to manipulate things just to make sure that you cover for your
Husband.
intimate partner's crime. So the law is very much aware that this can happen because this law deals with intimate relationships.
Right.
So we are telling you that you do that, you are also culpable. All right, not just as an accessory after the fact, someone who is trying to cover a crime, but as also a perpetrator yourself under the provision of frustrating investigation. So to put this word out there, and I think that's also a huge innovation.
Okay, quickly, just so we'll go to the phone lines again because they haven't stopped. But just to let you know, if you want to ask a question, if you're making a contribution, it should be within the context of the conversation today. So for your quick reminder, this program is the popularization of the River State Violence Against Persons Prohibition Law. And it's funded by the European Union with technical support from Agent for Citizens Transformation and the British Council. And it's the opinion of the Center for Environment, Human Rights and Development. Okay, so take note of that. Super FM Potaka, good morning. Good morning, sir. What's your name? All right, go ahead.
Okay, I want to thank our guests in this organization.
Okay. Okay.
We have, most of us have learned a lot this morning, especially the area of the age. One should have an affair with a lady that's of 18 years and above.
Yes.
You know, most of us are not aware that below 18 years, it's a welcome development. But I want to also say this. In Nigeria, I think and awareness should be more. It should take place.
Oh, I sorry, the line is bad, but I think what he's trying to say is that this awareness should continue and it should be increased so that more and more people will know about it. Super FM Port Harcourt, good morning.
Good morning to you, my lady.
The Real Gift, welcome.
And good morning to our resource person in the studio. Good morning, madam.
Good morning to you.
Thank you, ma'am. My lady,
Sir.
for me, I don't look at the issue of, say, if the person is below 18. Even if the person don't pass 18, and then the person no give you agreement, say, enter my London, I think it's also rape. You know? Now, on this other issue, when we talk about, is it that now poverty, sorry, not poverty, now let me know if the word poverty. Is it as a result of the economic standard of the woman, or discrimination, or love? That's why these women, when issues like this come, they want to pursue it. So that at the end of the day, make it be say, my marriage is secured. And then what about the man that has carried out this action? What makes you think you as the wife, you are also safe in that house?
All right. I totally understand you. Okay,
thank you very much.
Thank you so much. So you want to respond to that and move on. You understand where he's coming from,
Yes,
right?
I understand. Okay, thank you very much. So the first caller, I took note of what you said. This program continues, sensitization and awareness program continues. And we are also constituting a network of people who are going to also carry on with the light that we have lit, so that this information keeps spreading. We've done a whole lot of community sensitization. We focus on Thai local government. And we focused also on Eleme and Port Harcourt City. So the awareness is on. And we're constituting a network that will also champion this cause. Yes, because one of the biggest essence of this popularization is to break the culture of silence around these domestic issues, around this violence against persons issues. So the other person that mentioned that rape must go beyond the age, yes, we mentioned it. We said that beyond forceful sexual relationship, even if it is in agreement with someone who is underage, it is still rape because the person lacks consent. The age of consent for sexual relationship is 18 years and above. And this goes ahead to also warn parents who are in the business of giving out their daughters, underage daughters, in marriage, or also for them to have financial benefits from maybe one big man around. When we did advocacies in secondary schools, these issues kept coming up. These girls kept coming to us to say, hey, my mother is pushing me to date so and so person just so the person can support us financially. So that is also part of it. The reason why women also try to cover up for that.
And in such cases, those mothers will be prosecuted by this law, right?
Definitely. Either as an accessory or as a perpetrator herself. Yes. So, or aiding and abetting, or aiding and abetting of crime. So, in our society today, we know how it is with women and marriage. Is still the issue of patriarchy, issue of culture, issue of pressure. So, take for example, a woman who is 35 years old is under a lot of pressure to marry. All right, and a man who is 35, unlike a man who is 35 years old. So these are the intricacies, cultural intricacies around that issue. Also, issue of financial dependence on the man is also a big deal because you do not want your husband to go to jail. especially when he might be the breadwinner of the family.
Yeah.
But we are still saying that it's better you have a conversation with your husband today about it than to pretend that it might not happen or it will happen. So that you too don't go down as a criminal. Remember that when this offense of rape or sexual offenses occur, there's a sex offenders register that the Ministry of Social Welfare and Rehabilitation are mandated to keep.
Wow.
Is mandated to keep under the VAP law. That's sexual offenders register. And it's to be published online and pasted. So it is not just about the stigma lives with you forever, even lives with your children. And you are an ex-convict when this happens. There are a lot of stuff that you are no longer entitled to.
Okay.
When
All right, this is our last call and then we'll proceed. Super FM Port Harcourt.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, sir. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Harold from D-Line.
Good to have you, Harold. Go ahead.
Firstly, I want to thank the United States government to even try to make attempt to promulgate such a law, because this particular thing you're saying is going to be very impactful. Seriously, there are so many homes that when a man has a daughter, he believes that no problem again. Even if the child is 16 years, they send them to go and have sex with people and bring money. Such people, at least now, will know that if they do it, they will go to jail.
Yeah.
And I want to encourage this particular organization, they should continue with this sensitization so that people will be aware of this law. And even me, I'm a politician anyway, I will try to see how we can even, if they can even try from this angle and support the communities to send messages to town criers and sensitize. I am sure even the local people in the village will understand this law, because they may not even be hearing it from the radio. But when such a law goes to the villages and the town crier goes around to say, if you do so thing, know that there is a law, there is a court there. If you do so thing, you will go to jail. So that people will be aware of this particular law, especially the child that is not up to 18 years to go and have sex, because it will also curtail the things we are seeing in society now, where little cares into, you go to protest, you see them, age of 15 to 16 years, it's just a shame.
All right.
So with this now, I am very sure that even the man that wants to go into it will be very careful. I will be afraid to.
All right.
So they should extend it to the communities by using tankers too.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Harold. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for that contribution, more of solidarity. We are very grateful that what the little we are doing is making this impact, and people are receiving this information.
Absolutely.
In this very acceptable manner. So to make progress, because I know we do not have all the time in the world.
And the phone lines have not stopped blinking, but please go ahead. Go ahead.
So let me also quickly mention one or two other innovations under this law. One of them is this issue of forced financial dependence or economic abuse. We know that women are the most victims of this particular offense. Take, for example, someone has gone to school, or somebody has learned a skill, making money before you came into her life as a man. And then you get married to her and you tell her that you cannot
work anymore.
You cannot work. You
have to
cannot
stay
make
at
money.
home.
You have to stay at home and take care of my home and take care of my business and take care of my
children.
children.
Yeah.
I think it's one of the most terrible crime a human being can commit against the other.
So, but what if it's an understanding that both parties come to?
Okay, good. So, two adults. I insist that no one should tell couple how to marry, so long as they are doing it under the ambit of law.
Okay.
So long as abuse is not, in play. So it's okay for a husband to decide to agree with the wife that, okay, I'm going to be a house husband. I mean, it's a very acceptable practice.
Or the woman is going to be a housewife.
Yes, so the man can choose to be a housewife and the
House husband.
Sorry, a house husband, and the woman agrees, okay, let me be the one going out to make money. Fine, I'll carry the pregnancy, deliver, but I hit the street again. While you stay back and take care of the home and, market stuff and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, vis-a-vis a woman, the couple can agree that the woman could do this, and she agrees. But the bottom line is that agreement. There should be an agreement. You don't treat an adult as if that person is a child just because the adult is married to you.
But sometimes some women do these things out of love and reverential respect for their husbands.
Yes, when it is out of love and reverential respect for her husband, nobody is complaining. But we've had several cases where the women come to you and they tell you, I want to work. This man says I cannot work.
Even if the man is providing, enough.
Nobody can take care of your needs,
All right.
100% like yourself. But beyond even making money, you're also making your mark when you are contributing career-wise.
Right.
You're contributing your quota to the society. You're not there to just take in oxygen.
And you're exploiting your God-given potentials.
Exactly. There's a reason why God created all of us. So that purpose should not be truncated because of marriage. We insist on that. And remember that man that is asking you to sit at home is not God. His life is not even in his hand. I mean, we've had very rich people who suddenly became poor, or very rich person who even died suddenly, even though he's still rich.
Right.
Or or became sick
And you leave
and
a woman who
incapacitated.
is unable to provide.
Yes, you leave a woman, you leave the children, devastated, because not only have they lost this person or facing the trauma of daddy is sick, now there's also issue of hunger and inability to provide the basic needs for the children. So, but beyond that, I think that I have a will, I have a desire, I have a mandate that I'm also here to fulfill on earth. And I do not think that marriage, we make compromises in marriage.
Absolutely.
We understand the compromising aspect of it, but no adult should be forced to be financially dependent on another. It is not allowed. The law knows. This law knows that this has been the case for so many women, and is here to say if a woman stops the other party, then it's an offense under VAP law and it's punishable. So that leads us to the other innovation under the law, which is the provision of fine in place of imprisonment. You know what offense is?
Yeah.
Offense, crime is an offense against the state, which is punishable by law.
Right.
We know that is what it is. But we see that unlike in our criminal courts, where it's criminal strict facto, under VAP law, there are
Sorry, what
provision.
does that mean? Just for the layman
Like
like me.
strictly
speaking.
yeah, so many so many crimes, all right, there are no option of fine. Even if there are option of fine, there's always a jail term. But because this law knows that we are dealing with domestic relationship, most of the times a spouse would not want the partner to end up in jail, but they want the abuse to do what? To stop, which is the whole essence, a law to prohibit and eliminate all forms of violence against person, whether it is happening in public or in private. Exactly. So now this law is very innovative in that area. It provides for fine. So when a man commits such an offense of economic abuse against the wife, might not go to jail, but the law will make him to pay certain fine. And after paying that fine, I guarantee you that he will be the one that will be waking the wife up in the morning. So please go to work. Go to work. You get it? Please go to work. So that's a big innovation. So in the times past, wives used to say, but if I report him down and they send him to jail, who will take care of my children?
Yeah.
Oh, my dear wives out there, dear husbands out there.
But won't that even ruin the relationship if the woman goes and reports the husband? And even though the husband may not go to jail, he's made to pay a fine. That entire thing, doesn't it, smear?
So, see, let me tell you, one of the reasons why we are having too many divorces today is because things are swept under the carpet. It is better to deal with the issue than to keep pretending that the issues. So, see, when love is one-sided, when submission is one-sided, when a relationship is all about Lord, Master, personal savior to the other party, let me tell you the truth. That union is already dead on arrival.
Right.
It is just a matter of time, and it will blow up. It's just a bomb waiting to blow. So it is better that we go all out and eliminate the issues that could lead to total permanent damage to the relationship than to keep pretending that, you can't cope with someone who says you can't make money. We all have responsibilities in families where we are coming from. So why would I be deprived of the opportunity to contribute to my parents' well-being?
Instead of going to your husband every time your parents need something.
The level of emotional damage it does to you that you have to ask your husband to provide money for pad. People like us, when we go out there, we work, we come back, we buy what we want to use and we use them.
Quietly.
And yes, we use them, and the man looks at you and smiles. The wig, he doesn't even know how much you're buying them.
He doesn't know, but you look good, and he takes the glory.
Exactly. He takes the glory. Isn't that better? I can guarantee you that if you go to a man for every need that you have, that
You lose
relationship,
respect even.
are you even losing the respect, or the relationship is already strained?
True.
He's frustrated in this our time, economic time.
But that's what some men like, to be lured, to feel like they are in charge and control of their homes. I wish we had so much more time, but go ahead, respond.
There are so many women who are very okay to be subservient, who are very okay with just sitting at home and eating your food. Please go for those ones. Don't go meet a woman who is already empowered on all fronts
Whose
to
parents
make
put her through
money.
the university,
Exactly.
even.
And she has the zeal, the desire, the capacity. And then you put her down and you insist that this woman, you cannot maximize your potential in life. No, it's completely unacceptable. And the law says you do that, you have committed an offense under VAP law.
Well, I wish we had more time to continue with this conversation, but unfortunately, but don't worry. This is a program that will continue tomorrow, and we'll come back to it again on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So you want to stay. It's an interesting program. I see the phone lines blinking. They have not stopped. I apologize. Join us again tomorrow at 9 a.m. And once again, it is the popularization of the River State Violence Against Persons Prohibition Law. And we're discussing this law in its entirety, and it's such a huge law that speaks and covers so many angles. Hence the reason it's taking us all this number of days to look at it. But stick around. Don't forget as well that the program is funded by the European Union with technical support from Agents for Citizens Transformation and the British Council. And of course, it is the initiative and the opinion of Center for Environment, Human Rights and Development. Just take notes. But there's a number to call just in case you have issues. There is a number, yes.
Yeah.
Barrister Obiageli, please give us the numbers.
So, Center for Human Rights, Center for Environment, Human Rights and Development have come up with a toll-free line. You call this line at no expenses of your own. We pay for the calls. So if there are any issues or incidents of violence against persons happening around your area, please feel free to call this toll-free line 080 020 00500. Taking it again, 0800 2000 500. Please follow SAID on Facebook at cehrd.dev. Our website is cehrd.org.ng. Please, our Twitter is at cehrd. Please follow us for more information on what we are doing, especially around this Violence Against Persons Prohibition Law of Rivers State 2020. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much. And that's Barrister Obiageli Oraka Oyifore. She is Program Associate, Center for Environment, Human Rights and Development. See you again tomorrow. I look forward to it. I do look forward to tomorrow.
Thank you so much, Obi.
All right, guys, stick around. The Super Breakfast show still continues, and we have one more special appearance to be made. But a quick music break as we usher in our next guest. And this is One Step at a Time. And it's by one of my favorite artists, Jordan Sparks. Don't go anywhere.
Oya Claro Joe, who they breathe? This not Super FM. We don't show.